algebra is basically using letters for numbers, right? So algebra is a branch, if you want to call it a branch, of mathematics that uses letters like X and Y and the symbols, right, Jovel, and symbols to represent numbers. Okay? No. We rewrite it. Right. So it uses expressions and equations with variables, constants, and operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? Yeah, right? So the variable, I want to write in blue. Too much red. Right, so we're going to deal with the sub definitions now. So a variable is like the letter or symbol, right? Letter or symbol used to represent number. Right? Then we have the constant, fixed value, right? A number. Like if we write out a number within the algebraic expression, right? Then we have the expression, an algebraic expression. A combination of variables, constants, and operations. Right? The operations is like minus, plus, multiplication, division, right? And then you have the without an equal sign. And then an equation an equation. Well, let me put algebraic equation. An algebraic equation would be an expression with an equal sign. Right? Yes, so I just want to bring this up. I'll go back up there. Right. So now we're going to deal with substitution. So substitution is the process of replacing a variable with hey, what's that? This thing is a real mind thing earlier. Like how yesterday we do our cheer class. The class feel long. Thank you.
I don't know about all that.
It's a mind thing because look, it has so much things I want to show you all today. Right? So substitution is the process of replacing a variable with a numerical value, which is a number, with a number in an algebraic expression or equation. Right? So we're going to jump to questions time. I ain't like this big space. Right. So substitution is what we're going to deal with, right? Substitution is the process of replacing a variable with a number in an algebraic expression, right? So they gave us values. They told you that given that A is equal to 4, B is equal to 2, and C is equal to -1, find the value of all these algebraic expressions. Now, the difference between an algebraic expression and an algebraic equation is an expression does not have an equal sign, while an algebraic equation has an equal sign. Very important to note when you see these words being thrown around, right? So these are expressions because they have no equal sign. Cool? So let me work. We're going to deal with each one of them, right? This is simple. I just replace it. You all know what the word replace means? Janae, you know what the word replace means, right? So we go in. They gave us a value for A. We want to find A minus B minus C, right? What is the value of A that we were given, my children? Huh? So I replace A with 4. Put back the people minus sign, right? Because it's have a minus between the A and the B, right? What's the value of B? 2. Put back the people minus sign, right? C, what's the value of C? -1. So I'm going to put that -1 in brackets. This -1, when you punch in this on your calculator, you're pressing the +/- sign to access that. For the others, you could put normal minus, right? Punch it in on your calculator, tell me what to get. The few things I can tell you about meanwhile, especially when we're dealing with these brackets, right?
So I get 3.
3? Right, that's something correct, right? Note, a minus, so brackets imply multiplication, right? So it's like a minus by a minus would give you a plus. Then a minus by a plus would give you a minus. If you have a plus and a minus, this will give you a minus, and a plus would give you a positive. Right on that, very important. So when you punch it in and you work it out, you would get 3. Everybody good there? Because 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 plus 1 will give you 3. Right? Everybody good there? Another note we're going to write here. These are algebraic expressions that we work out, we substitute in values, and we get the answer that they are asking for. Yeah. Right? So I'm going to put one more note here. So I'm going to set this down a little bit. Right. So the next note I'm going to put, I'm going to put it underneath here because I don't know how much space I'll need for those other questions. Right. So note, given AB like this, or XY, or even like say, let me say XYZ, put 3 letters, right? XYZ, right? AB is actually A multiplied by B, right? Multiplication, multiplication is understood between a letter or a variable, or 2 variables, 3 variables, or any amount of variables. So I would put A, between variables, right? Between variables, right? So if I have XYZ written like that, multiplication is understood in between X and Y and in between X and Z. So if I have XYZ, this will be X multiplied by Y multiplied by Z. Everybody clear? Are we clear? Let's work. Also, a point to note, if I have 3x, this also means 3 multiplied by x. Why? Because multiplication is understood. We have to be writing, Janae. We have to write. Multiplication is understood between letters, not variables, and numbers, right? Very important notes, right? Very, very important notes. Because there Chanela, Brittany, I know should have any dustbin, Algebra, we're gonna deal with it. We're gonna deal with algebra today. Right, so look at the question. AB minus BC, right? So this is simply gonna be A multiplied by B, right? What is A? A is 4. I put in brackets mean multiplication. I should have written no, no, 2. I think I'll put it somewhere, right? Brackets imply multiplication. So if I put A and then B in brackets, that means A multiplied by B. Cool? Minus B is what? 2 by -1, right? Remember when you put in -1 like this, on your calculator, you're using the plus or minus number, right? For this one, you could use normal minus. When you work this out, what would we get? 10, right? Somebody second 10. Only here 1 10 come from
Yes, sir, 10.
10, right? Everybody get there so far? Throw them algebra fears in the dustbin earlier. Nobody coming here with no fears. Right. Right, we roll in. B to the second power. Everybody knows how to access the second power in this class already, right? On a calculator. But second power simply means B multiplied by B, right? But we're going to put B to the second power. So it'll be 2 in brackets to the power of 2, right? Minus, what is C? -1 to the power of 2. So you punch it in just like this on your calculator, right? 2 to the second power, you press the x squared, right? That'll be 4 minus. Now this -1 is very important, and this -1 goes in bracket when you square. Because -1 to the power of 2 would actually be +1. So that's be 4 minus 1. But punch it in on your calculator, make sure you're getting that. Well, the values. So
I just really forget to know, like, where press for the power again?
X squared. So to access this, you just press the x squared knob, x to the second power. I'm going to write that a little bigger. And what you're getting? 4. And what you get for the second one? 4 minus what? Negative 1 squared will give me? Positive 1 or just 1, right? So 4 minus 1 would be 3. Make sure you're getting this, eh? Everybody good here so far? We don't understand everything.
So I do it again. How are you getting one?
How I get this? Right. Put negative 1 squared in brackets. Do that for me. Because if you don't do that, the calculator will just say a negative and a negative is a positive. You get any 3?
So excuse.
Yeah,
So
no problem.
you have to work them separate. You have to do like the open brackets 2 squared first, and then get that, and then do the minus one with negative 1.
Or you can just do task 1 on the calculator and you'll get the answer straight.
Right. Okay.
Right, but you must put it in brackets, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Again?
Yeah.
A to the power of C, right? What is the value of A?
4.
So it will be 4 to the power of what's the value of C? Right, so on your calculator, put in 4, then you're going to see a knob is either X to the Y power or Y to the X power. I'm not sure. Some calculators have it like a little hack. They have like this, book back, right? So you press 4, you press that knob to the power of, and then you have to press negative 1, right? Remember, this negative is going to be the plus or minus knob, right? Plus / minus. So make sure you plug in these things and then tell me what the answer would be here.
It could be 1/4, no?
1/4, or if you get as a decimal, it will be 0.25.
0.25.
Right? Okay?
Yeah.
Punch it in, make sure you're getting it, please. Remember, between numbers and letters, what is understood? Multiplication. Sing that in your head, John. Multiplication is understood, Jeremiah. Right? So let me go. Negative 3 multiplied by what's the value of A for this question? I put a negative 5 in brackets, right? Multiply by what is B in this question? 2. So I put in 2 in brackets to the power of 2. All over, what's the value of C? 1 to the power of 2. Right? So here what you're doing for these division questions. Work out the top, give me the answer, then we'll work out the bottom, give me the answer, and then we proceed to divide. Okay? So what you'll get when you work out the top there, the numerator. You'll please work it out. Don't wait for somebody to say it. The most important part of this process and master in your calculator is working it out. 60?
Yeah.
Somebody secondly 60.
Yeah.
Negative 60, I guess so.
Somebody get negative 60.
So I get positive 60.
I guess 60.
It's looking like positive because look, I see now negative here. So this is negative 3. I should have put it in brackets. It's negative 3 multiplied by negative 5 multiplied by 2 to the power of 2. And we get in positive 60.
Well, I didn't put negative 3, so maybe that is why.
Yeah. 1 squared will be 1. 60 divided by 1 is? Everybody good there? Let's proceed to the next one, right? We're moving with some good pace here. 2 multiplied by what's the value of A?
-5.
Negative 5 to the power of B. What's the value of B?
2.
2. So you're putting the power of 2, right? Composure is everything here, no? Composure is everything, right? Minus, so this is not negative, right? This is minus B, which is 2, all over C. C is 1. Work out the top for me first, right? Remember, this here is negative 5. So you're pressing the plus or minus knob here. And this is minus 2. So you have to press minus 2, right, Jenny? I press minus 2. When we work out the top, what we get?
48.
48. Divided by 1 will just be 48.
48.
Everybody good there? Well, you're working real good today. Right? Me, I make sure you get it. Right. I feel we could just do this B here and all your handle all your so working on. It had to have something to challenge all your man. It can't just be as that easy thing, right? So we put all this to homework. All these on it here. This whole question, all you do for homework. Now we all from how all you handling these, all you will be able to handle this. I'm not worried. But the more different types, just follow composure. Let's compose yourself. Make sure you're watching your numbers. I'm putting, you see writing on these things correctly is everything, right? I'll do on this one. So it comes like we'll finish 2 and you will do the whole of 3 for homework, right? So let me just run this here. This one will just be -3 multiplied by what is E? -5. Right? I'm putting negatives in brackets, right? Multiply by 2. Right, where you get when you work out this? 2. Right, there we go here. A multiplied by B, right? So A would be -5. I'm putting -5 in brackets, right? By B, which is 2. Okay? Minus 5. I don't know when to put minus and when to press your plus or minus number, right? Open bracket, A. A is -5, right? -5 minus, right? I put a longer minus sign on this minus, right? Minus B, which is 2, plus, well, I kind of have space here. Right, plus C, 2 by C, which is 1. Right? So punch that in as 1 on a calculator and tell me again. Remember when to put minus, remember when to press your plus or minus, not to access negative. Where again?
27.
Somebody second in 27. Chini, where again there? I put 28, yes. Where? 15? Somebody give my next answer. I get 27 and 15.
I get 27, sir.
27. Check it over, Jenny. We get 227. Somebody else give my answer there. Or let's do these things, John. Make sure I do it. Make sure I know when to put minus and when to press negative. 27, right? Check it over, Jenny. Remember, this is -5, right? Check it there, Christian. Let's pause here. After this, we go on. Right, so a binary operation is a mathematical process that combines 2 elements. Usually numbers. So it's numbers and algebraic terms to produce a single result. So it comes like we're taking 2 numbers, replacing 2 algebraic expressions or algebraic variables or algebraic terms, replacing them, and you're forming one answer. Right? So everybody know what binary means? Binary, let me put that. Binary basically means 2, right? Binary means 2. Right? So a binary operation takes 2 inputs and gives 1 output. Right, your 2 inputs would be your 2 values that you're placing into the algebraic expression, and you're getting one answer, right? Right, binary operations is basically substitution, right? It's like a fancy way to do substitution. That's all I find it is. Right, so a binary operation, which is asterisk, we call it this operation asterisk, right, is defined by a asterisk b is equal to a plus b squared minus 2ab, right? That is the binary operation. This here is the binary operation. And you know what they come and ask you to find out? 3 asterisk 4. It's like substitution. They're telling you a is equal to 3, b is equal to 4 solve, right? It's basically a substitution question, right? So I'm just going to write here when a is equal to 3 and b is equal to 4, follow the order, right? The a is the first number, the b is the second number, right? So you was given that a asterisk b is equal to a plus b squared minus 2ab, and you want to now find 3 asterisk 4, right? So what am I replacing a with? What did I tell you all a is equal to? Plus what is b? Dog food is called a squared minus 2 multiply is understood here. 2 multiply by 2 multiply by somebody say that 3 multiply by 4 is a and b. 2 multiply by a multiply by b. So work out these two things. Well, I can work it out as 1. Let's know that this is minus in the middle here, right? Find out minus, pull closer to one bracket more. I'm going to fix it here too. Right, so this is minus, right? Right. Somebody second 25. We beyond the baby stage, where we had to work out this, put the answer, then work out this, put the answer, work out everything as well. 25, right. So you'll see how easy this is? It's a fancy way to do substitution, if you want to put it like that. Right, do number 6 of homework. I want to keep it rolling. Right, number 6 is homework. I can keep it rolling there. I find me moving faster in this than we was moving in consumer. You know why? Consumer has plenty reading. Once questions have plenty reading, it's hard to take time to analyze it. Right, so we just do number 7, right? So they gave you the definition for the binary operation, right? It is equal to AB minus B divided by A, right? So I'm going to find 4, this is part A, 4 asterisk 8 is equal to, what is the value of A for this question? 4 multiplied by what's the value of B? Boom. Minus what's the value of B? Divided by what's the value of A? Everybody good here? Let's see how easy this is, boy. Everybody good here? So what's 4 asterisk 8? 4 asterisk 8 is equal to, give me the answer. I don't want separate working and all that kind of back and all.
30.
30, somebody second 30. 30? 30. That is 4 asterisk 8, right? Part B now, they came and asked us to find 2 asterisk 4 asterisk 8. But we have composure, we have sense, right? We were taught. So I know that I just work out 4 asterisk 8 to be what? 30. So this is actually the question asking us to find 2 asterisk 30. So if I want to find 2 asterisk 30, I'm using the same definition for my binary operation, which is in the question, right? What is the value of A for this question, for this part of the question? What A would be? 2. Somebody said it, I heard 2. 2 multiplied by what is B?
30.
You're using this definition. Anytime I write down a binary operation, this is the definition I'm using, right? For
30.
this question. Right? So 30, very good. Somebody online saying that 30 minus what is B?
30 over 2.
A is 2. See how dog foodish this is?
So you get 45.
Real dog food, let's call it. 45?
Yeah.
Right. So this here is my final answer. It's like a binary operation within a binary operation.
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah, for sure. So right. So transposition is the method of moving a term from one side of an equation to the other by changing its sign. So remember the question we just did in consumer arithmetic, where I said like when you move the 25,000 to the other side, you had to do the opposite of multiply, which was to divide. Then I moved the plus 1 to the other side. I did the opposite of plus, which was to minus. This is it here. It was transposition we just did in that worksheet, right? To help solve for a variable, right? So we have our rule. We have the rules here, right? Me, I understand everything? Nice. So the rule. When you move, wait. That's all. Oh, it's probably hurting home, boy. Right. When I go too high, I don't know why it does that. Right. When you move a number or term. When I use the word term, when I throw the word term around, it's variable, I mean, right? A variable or a symbol. Okay? So when I move a number or term to the other side of an equal sign, or the other side of an equal sign, you change its operation, right? Right? You change its operation. So basically, it changes from plus to minus, right? Or minus to plus, okay? Multiplication to division or division to multiplication. Division to multiplication, right? Everybody good here? Right. So if they ask you to make H the subject of the formula, it's basically transformation we're going to perform, right? Anything I ask you to make the subject of the formula, it comes like I want that alone on one side of the equal sign. What I want you all to do, we have so when you have an equal sign, right? All right. Yes. Let me I'm gonna put above here. When you have an equal sign, okay, you have the left-hand side, and then you have the right-hand side. Okay? Now, if H is on the right-hand side, leave it there. Let me don't interfere with where it is. Because if I have something is equal to H, or H is equal to something, it means the same thing. Cool? I'll put that. So if I have H is equal to, I just put the word something, right? If I have H is equal to something, it means the same as something is equal to H. But to make H the subject of the formula, I want H on one side of the equal sign by itself, right? So let me write that down too. To make H the subject means we had to write earlier, we need H on one side, it doesn't matter which side, of the equal sign by itself, right? If you want to put it in Lehman's terms, by itself, right? That's what it means to make H the subject of the formula. That's what it means to transpose, right? Everybody get there? So we just put like this was our notes, right? So you want to make H the subject of the formula. Like I was saying before, H is on the right-hand side of the equal sign. Let us leave it there. So what does that mean? We need to move from that right-hand side to bring to the left. What we have to move if we want to make H the subject.
So negative PV.
Negative PV or minus PV. That is minus PV, not negative PV, right? So if I minus PV on the right, what do I do with it when I carry it to the left?
Change the operation to add.
Plus, right? So watch it, watch the process and trust the process, right? Always put back what was on that side, what was there first, put that first. So U didn't come from nowhere. So we put back the U. Everybody clear? And we said when PV comes to the left, it changes from minus to plus PV is equal to what remain on the right? H. You see how easy this thing is? Transposition. We make H the subject. You get there, Shana? Huh? Write it down. That's the answer. We make H the subject and we want H on one side of the equal sign by itself. Go ahead, Jovel. If we? What we do? The H? Nah, you didn't do that with me, brother. You do that with somebody else. I will never do a transposition. So if H is on the right, I will leave it there. Right? Are divided? That will say not divided? The U over the PV? Not me. You didn't do that with me. What you have as the answer there?
Not the same exact question.
Different one. Well, yeah, you will see different questions will be done differently. Right? So there we go. See, I can pull up this one. Yeah. Right, let me go. So you see they use the word transpose here, right? They did not use the word change the subject of the formula, right? So they wanted to transpose this formula, which is V is equal to U plus T Christian hat, right? They want to transpose this formula for U. So the question can be asked just like this, right, John? They can say transpose this formula for U, which means to make U the subject of the formula. So you see once again, U is on one side of the equal sign. Right, so let me leave you there. We're not going to interfere with that, right? So what do we move to the left-hand side? T. So if we add T here, what do we do with it when we carry it here? Change it to a minus. What do we put on first? What was on the left-hand side there already? V. So let me put back people V first, right? Plus T becomes
Negative.
minus T, and this will be equal to U is now the subject of the formula, right? Yeah, no problem. Right, let me go. Transpose P is equal to HPG to make G the subject of the formula, right? I'm going to write over the formula here. P is equal to HPG. We want to make G the subject of the formula, right? Now, all I have to do is, if I want to make G the subject, it comes like, what is understood between this P and this G? What is understood in the middle here? Multiply.
Multiply.
I'm going to write it over. It will be P is equal to HP multiplied by G. So it's like, I want to move this HP to this side, right? What is the opposite of multiply?
Divide.
Huh? So I don't put division signs. I don't believe in division signs, right? Over means division, right? So it'll be P over what comes underneath here now?
HP.
Because I put what the people had on the left-hand side first,
So P.
and I changed multiplication to division. So if I multiply HP on the right, I divide it on the left.
So that HG.
Oh, HP, sorry. HP. Right. What remains on the right-hand side now?
G.
Is G now the subject of the formula? Talk done. Right? Write it down, please. Right. So I want to make X the subject of the formula here, right? So let me write down Y is equal to 3X plus 5, right? So here the order when we do these things. You all realize that I have two numbers here. Whatever is attached to the value that we want to make this the subject of the formula, we deal with that last. So it's like you're dealing with any addition that is separated or any other thing, any division that is separate. Whatever is attached, I call it attached. What is attached to the value we're trying to make the subject of the formula, we deal with that last. So let's move the 5 first. So if we add 5 here, what do we do with it when we carry it on this side? What do people had on the left-hand side first? Y. Plus 5 becomes minus 5, and it says equal to 3x. What is understood between the 3 and the x? Opposite of multiplication is? No, you're not just dividing by y, or you're not just dividing by the 5, right? It's going to be y minus 5 all over 3 is equal to x. Cool? X is now the subject of the formula, right? So I'm just doing this one here, and then we will call it. Now, I might be able to do all these, but I still want you all to try, right? Because we just do. All it was struggling now, but I just put the words try, right? So you all will just try. I'm gonna put it in red. Try. If you can't do it, don't fight up, right? Try, but really try to see if you can do it. 17 to 27. Right, you're all trying those. Right, let me do the last one for the day, right? So A is equal to pi r squared. So the first thing we're going to move here is what? If we want to make r the subject of the formula, what's the first thing we should move? The what? The pi. What is going on between the pi and this r here? Boom, multiply. Opposite of multiply is to? Let's divide.
Divide.
A divided by pi is equal to r squared. Now, to get rid of the squared, we have to do the opposite of squared on the left side. Note, opposite of square is square root. Boom. Square root. So it's like you want to do the opposite of square on this side, which is square root. Right? So this will now become the square root of everything that was on that side. Right? So it'll be A over pi is equal to r. Cool? Everybody good there?
Yeah.
Right. Talk done. R is now the subject of the formula, right? So we pause it there.